First, we'll take a look at the youth beginning a new wave of disturbing idolization towards criminals.
These crimes are just always in front of us, so we start to lose touch with how grotesque and terrible they really are.
Then we head into the impact AI has on mental health.
I think what is challenging with AI is that it adds yet another layer of a way that misinformation can be spread.
After that, we will take a look at IU football's historic national championship win.
We got a 2-score lead. Defense hasn't let them in the end zone or on the scoreboard. We get the ball first. Sure, it'd be nice to go down there and score a touchdown.
All that and more coming up on Torch TV.
Welcome back to East Media Studios. Welcome back to Torch TV. I'm your host, Mia Bowers, and I'm joined by Inaki Ramirez. Inaki, did you know that there's less than 40 days until spring break?
Really? I'm trying to get out of this winter.
I know, it's terrible. Now, let's get right into this week's Torch TV.
The growing trend of idolizing criminals has been affecting the minds of youth and has taken a toll what people morally believe is right and wrong. Many young adults have begun to enact what their supposed idols have perpetrated against innocent civilians.
In 2025, there have been over 15,000 cases of gun violence, approximately 14,500 murders, 387 mass shootings, and 222 school shootings. Teens and young adults have begun to idolize the perpetrators of these tragedies. The term hybridophilia is the natural phenomenon characterized by sexual interest in and attraction to those who commit crimes. Many young adults that are experiencing this type of paraphilia have gone to posts online, including different slideshows that includes opinions on which mass murderer is the most good-looking, to even making edits of infamous killers like Ted Bundy and Luigi Mangione, gaining an abundant amount of likes.
These crimes are just always in front of us, so we start to lose touch with how grotesque and terrible they really are. We also start to lose sight of the humans that are involved.
A more local case has occurred in Mooresville, Indiana, just in February of 2025. A senior that attended Mooresville High School named Trinity Shockley, who had an immense admiration towards the Parkland High shooter, Nicholas Cruz. Her feelings of romance, sexual attraction, and infatuation pushed her to plan out a school shooting to happen on Valentine's Day, and also nicknaming it Parkland High Part 2. Every day, the growth and becoming infatuated with these perpetrators is seemingly only growing.
The problem is when we start to think, well, maybe it wasn't so bad they did that thing, or seeing a piece of themselves in the perpetrator and then wanting to grow that piece of themselves or identify a bit more strongly with a piece of themselves. I think that's where it really crosses over into being a bit more dangerous.
If this trend of idolization keeps rising, it could eventually become the new normal in America for not just youth, but everyone with more mental health complications becoming a common factor.
Lauren Degner and Karin Dutro's senior project, the BCSC Blood Battle, has been rescheduled for February 24th, which is another B-Day. All donors will receive a $20 e-gift card and a donut, and those donating during lunch will get a free Jaggers chicken sandwich. Follow the project on Instagram at bcsc.blood.battle for information on how to sign up. The Level Up Leadership Business Club will now officially meet on A days during advisory. On March 27th at the Columbus Learning Center from 8:45 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. is the Youth Empowerment Summit, where students grades 9 through 12 get to attend an all-day student leadership conference with the keynote speaker, community partnered tables, and breakout sessions. The application deadline is February 9th. Scan the QR code to sign up.
Now we head over to East Media's Zarek Flippins for this weekend's weather forecast.
Thank you, Inaki. Overall, we are expecting a very chilly weekend ahead. Today it will be cloudy throughout the day with a high of 37 and a low of 12. Moving on to Saturday, it will be mostly cloudy with a high of 25 and a low of 14. Lastly, by Sunday, it will be cloudy with a high of 32 and a low of 19. For national weather, every year on February 2nd, one famous groundhog helps us predict what kind of weather we will have next. Groundhog Day is a tradition celebrated in the US and Canada. It started in the 1800s from German traditions. The tradition says if groundhog sees his shadow, winter will last 6 more weeks. If not, spring arrives early. This year, groundhog Phil did see his shadow, meaning he's predicted 6 more weeks of winter. So according to tradition, winter isn't over yet.
It is my job this February 2 to look to the skies and report back to you that there is a shadow here on my ground. 6 more weeks of winter abound.
And that's your yearly update on the Groundhog Day. That's all we have for weather. Back to you at the desk.
With the rise of artificial intelligence in our everyday lives, it's leaving both experts and students alike with concerns about mental health and misinformation.
Because it's called AI, artificial intelligence, we assume that it's smarter than people, and we assume that we don't need to check the answers.
I think what is challenging with AI is that it adds yet another layer of a way that misinformation can be spread.
It is not built to give you accurate information. It's built to give you what an algorithm says is like the most common answer.
Misinformation from AI is a major concern, but it's not the only one. With AI chatbots becoming more prevalent, dependency on AI for social interaction is also increasing.
It's important that humans engage with other humans. It helps develop our social skills. It helps us feel connected. If a student is engaging with a chatbot, I would want that individual to also be talking to another trusted adult, right? Just knowing that shouldn't be the only source of information or advice or what have you.
The further isolation of teenagers and young adults is a problem. I've seen it clinically. It's just not great for people to just be inside their house talking to AI.
AI is an easy outlet for people to use as sort of a therapy, but AI does not have the training and education that a therapist does. It's going to tell you what you want to hear. It's not going to tell you what you need, and can be a dangerous tool in that sense.
As with any new technology, very little is known about the long-term effects. Awareness surrounding AI is crucial for both students and experts.
People sort of see them as magic. They're not really seeing what's behind it, and they don't realize the weight of what they're doing. AI, using it, not using it, is about you personally. Is it benefiting your mind? Is it giving you the right information? Is it giving you advice you shouldn't listen to?
I think trying to educate young people on all of these things to consider, right? That misinformation does exist, that some AI tools may be sponsored by products. You've got to think about all those things and just make sure that we are educating our young people to be smart about the tools that they're using and how they're using so that they can protect themselves.
Intelligence is becoming more incorporated into school and our lives. Both students and teachers are facing the difficulties of navigating, understanding, and identifying AI. One of the best ways for students to ensure their safety surrounding AI is to use plagiarism checkers, run originality reports, and just avoid AI altogether.
After the break, we'll learn more information about Jaden Jimenez and her boxing goals in the future.
Then we'll take a look at IU's big win in the national championship.
All that and more on Torch TV.
This kind of behavior is never tolerated in Boracua. You shout like that, they put you in jail right away. You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses, you right to jail. You undercook fish, believe it or not, jail. You overcook chicken, also jail. Undercook, overcook. We have the best patients in the world because of jail.
On February 11th, during advisory, head on down to the library to make some yummy Cupid Crunch and create your own buttons. Email Mrs. Cordova at cordovae@bcsc.k12.in.us or scan the QR code on screen for more information. Today, the East Food Pantry is open from 3 to 3:30. Pickup will be located behind the library.
Now we're going to learn more about Columbus North Junior Haden Jimenez and see what her future in boxing is going to look like, national championship wise and also career wise.
A local boxer here in Columbus, Indiana named Haden Jimenez has been making boxing history for Columbus PAL. The 17-year-old female has been knocking out the national competition and even has future plans for more national tournaments.
I want to earn that #1 spot right now. Right now I'm ranked #3, but I eventually want to become #1, so I will continue to work hard for that.
She's at the point now to where we can't find any competition in the local region, so we have to go to the national tournaments, and when you go to the national tournaments, you're talking about young ladies who are very, very experienced. She just competed in the USA Boxing National Championships. She placed silver, she got 2nd place, and everybody she competed against was a ranked fighter.
The young boxer even made national history, being the least experienced boxer in her weight class and also beating the #1 ranked girl in her division by unanimous decision.
I fought in really experienced girls, and then I've also fought girls who already won nationals while I was still on my 4th fight. So honestly, it doesn't really matter how long you've been doing it. As long as you put in the hard work, you can catch up, because hard work beats talent.
What we're looking at is that she has the opportunity to really chase some big dreams, because she's got a lot of talent. She works very hard, and that's very special.
Her intense discipline and rapid improvement have even landed her a chance to try out for the USA Boxing Olympics team, furthering her aspirations in becoming a professional boxer.
When I turn 18, which is next year, I want to join the Olympics and go to the Olympic trials, and then whenever I turn 19 or 20, I want to go pro.
Realistically, I could say she could easily make some USA teams if she stays focused, and then she has the dream of being a pro fighter, a pro boxer, competing at the highest level, competing for pay-per-views and championships, and I think she has the potential to do it.
Haden's amazing nationals run isn't the only thing to be looking out for in sports in Indiana.
Now we'll head over to Zane Sinnott with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Inaki. Tonight, the girls' varsity basketball team is hosting a state tournament here at home, with tip-off starting at 6 p.m. After that, the varsity's wrestling team is going to regionals at Jefferson High on Saturday at 9 a.m. Now for the sports news we have all been waiting for. The Indiana Hoosiers won the national championship and are the first team to go 16-0 since the 1894 Yale Bulldogs. The Indiana Hoosiers went from being the worst team in college football history just 3 years ago to now going undefeated and winning the national championship. The Indiana Hoosiers faced their toughest defensive competition of the year against the University of Miami in the national championship. In the second half, with the game being closer than ever, Curcinetti went all in on 4th and 4. Fernando Mendoza took the snap and took an electrifying 12-yard run to the end zone to put Indiana up 2 scores with 9 minutes left in the game.
And whenever Coach Signetti, Coach Shanahan, they called that play, we knew, hey, we're going to better ourselves one more time. In the biggest stage of the game, everybody in that entire offense and entire team had a gritty performance today, and we're all putting our bodies on the line. So it's the least I could do for my brothers.
We're 16-0. 16. National champions at Indiana University, which I know a lot of people thought was never possible. It probably is one of the greatest sports stories of all time, but it's all because of these guys and the staff. So proud of them, and it's a great night.
That's all we have for sports this week. Back to you at the desk.
After the break, we'll take a look at how Forbes put BCSC in the list of top 20 employers.
Then we'll take a look at BCSC's recent drop in enrollment.
All that and more on Torch TV.
happened to her hair? Nice outfit.
This is not an ad, this is a message.
This is not an ad, this is a message.
This is not an ad, it's a message.
What? You're insufferable. What are you talking about? I don't understand anything you can't do.
You need help?
Do you need help?
Yes.
Forbes is a highly acclaimed business magazine known best for its lists and rankings of businesses and business owners. Recently, Forbes ranked BCSE as one of the top employers in the state.
Founded in 1917, Forbes magazine has made rankings and articles for businesses around the world. Being mentioned in one of these lists or having an article written about you has been a dream for many business owners, as it has historically been beneficial to them. BCSE was recently ranked in Forbes' Top Employers by State list for Indiana, and staff members definitely feel it was deserved.
BCSE is an outstanding school corporation, and I think it's more than well deserved. They are continually looking to do what's best for students, build our community. I've been so impressed since I've been here. I believe this is year 9. I've been in this school corporation. I've been in 3 other school corporations before coming here, and I'm consistently amazed at the level of leadership, the attention to detail, and the desire to watch other people grow, especially our students and our staff, but also bring the community alongside.
We really try to be competitive in things like salary for our employees, both for teachers and administrators as well as our support.
A mention in Forbes can only be positive for businesses, including school corporations, as it can bring better teachers and better administrators, making BCSE a better place.
I think people want to be in jobs and environments where they feel valued and where they feel appreciated and where people care about them. So I would maybe it would drive someone to want to apply and look here, or maybe bring their family to BCSE.
You have to like the people you work with, and in BCSE in our community, our teachers, our staff, our bus drivers, nurses, custodians, they like the other adults they work with, and they enjoy the students that they're around during the course of the day.
BCSE plans to maintain their place on the Forbes list by having transition to teaching programs which help future educators get their license and in the classroom quickly, as well as other programs for existing teachers and administrators.
We have started T2T programs for transition to teaching. So people in our community that have a degree that think they might want to be a teacher, we support them. We help get them into a program, get them a license, and get them in the classroom right away. For teachers who are teaching already, we have programs for them if they want to get their administrative license and think about becoming administrator. For our current administrators, we now have are working on a program if they want to work on their PhD and they think they might want to advance their skill level and their knowledge level and their education, or go on to become a central office administrator or a superintendent someday. So each level in our community and in our school district, we say, how can we help take you to the next level?
BCSE was ranked 63rd nationally. If you would like to see the full list, visit Forbes' website.
BCSE reported that district enrollment dropped by nearly 200 students in the 2025-2026 school year, an unexpected shift from the steady growth seen in recent years. Karin Dutro has more on what this means for our district.
We get funded directly from the state of Indiana. About 51% of the state's budget is for education, and it's directly tied to the number of students that we have.
In October, BCSE schools received their official enrollment numbers, determining their funding for the coming year.
We get about $7,500 per student, and if you lose 200 kids, you can do the math pretty quickly and see that's getting in the $1.5 million range.
Now, fortunately, we're large enough that to lose 225 students, that doesn't mean we're cutting programs or students won't have access to something that they had access to before.
After discovering the decline in enrollment and making appropriate changes, BCSE administrators searched for the reasons behind this drop.
We had a large number of students who had transferred to districts that are really far away from us here in Columbus, and so we were pretty confident those students were going to virtual programs. So we feel like some of our standards and accountability for students have driven students to places that don't have the same standards and accountability.
The other, which was a little bit unpredicted, but we're going to keep an eye on this because it may be a trend, is we had 40 students graduate as juniors last year. between North and East High School. So that's higher than normal, which we had not anticipated. So there's 40 fewer students in the senior year, obviously.
BCSC is also finding ways to respond to the effects that this drop will have on our schools.
We might have fewer classrooms that are filled, but that might also allow us to do different things with that space. So we might be able to add more pre-K programming for 4-year-olds, or use that space for different things like makerspace or STEM labs or other things. We always want to be, our motto is to be the choice to learn, work, and play. So we always want to have competitive programming. We want to have the most engagement in our classrooms. We just have to figure out a way to leverage those resources in a way that helps students in our community really have a great experience.
Although BCSC has faced a decrease in enrollment, there are still many exciting projects to come. Making BCSA a strong school system for current and future students through ventures like the new West Side Elementary School remains the administration's priority.
Now we'll head over to Drew Poe with the latest in news.
Thanks, Inaki. Denmark's foreign minister says conversation about Greenland's future are moving in a good direction after what he described as very constructive, high-level talks in the nation's capital. The meetings between the leaders from the United States, Greenland, and Denmark were aimed at easing tensions sparked by President Donald Trump's repeated threats regarding Greenland. Speaking to reporters and groups ahead of the gathering of the European Union, Foreign Minister's Danish Foreign Minister Lars Løkke said the talks quote-unquote went well, and the dialogue over Greenland is now back on track. Also happening nationally, the U.S. Armed Forces captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro on January 3rd. Maduro's vice president and longtime confidant Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in to fill his position. She was backed as the nation's leader by the Venezuelan military and U.S. executive branch, but concerns quickly arose about her loyalty to Maduro after what role the U.S. government should have in leading Venezuela. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado won the 2024 Venezuelan presidential primary, but was exiled by Maduro in an attempt to maintain power before the general election. The U.S. recognized that Maduro was not the rightful winner of the 2024 election, but the government has not made an attempt to instate Machado as president. And Trump said Rodriguez is, quote, working well with the United States. Still, Machado is speaking out on behalf of her party and against the Maduro-Rodriguez regime.
Delcy Rodriguez, yes, she's a communist. She's the main ally and representation of the Russian regime, the Chinese and the Iranians. But that's not the Venezuelan people, and that's not the armed forces as well.
Trump has made it clear that the United States has control over Venezuela, going so far as to post that he is the quote-unquote acting president of Venezuela on X. He said that he did not believe Maria Machado commanded the respect to immediately take over Venezuela, but she has made attempts to reach out to him and cooperate in hosting free elections. Machado even gifted her 2025 Nobel Peace Prize to Trump for his courage and efforts for peace in Venezuela. However, despite both sides saying that they look forward to hosting free elections, there is no timeline for when those might occur or what it will take to accomplish them.
We're going to run everything. We're going to run it, fix it. We'll have elections at the right time.
So I am profoundly confident that we will have an orderly transition. This is a complex phase we are right now. Some of the dirty work is being done by them. But then the result of a stable transition will be a proud Venezuela who is going to be the best ally the United States has ever had in the Americas.
Machado has yet to return to Venezuela. In the meantime, the President Delcy Rodriguez will continue to run the country as disputes over Maduro's capture, oil rights, and elections are resolved. In state news, members of the House Ways and Means Committee had to change their meeting location early Tuesday after water began leaking into the committee room at a state house following the powerful winter storm. Water dripped from 2 ceiling lights onto the floor, forcing staff to place buckets underneath microphones. Were also covered with protective bags to prevent damage. The issue was found about a day after the Indiana House canceled its Monday session due to severe weather, the first time lawmakers prolonged a session in years. Finally, in local news, a man from Columbus has been arrested in connection with a missing 17-year-old Indiana girl who is now being confirmed dead after suspect Tyler Thomas led police to her body. Court records show 39-year-old Tyler Thomas charged with pandering explicit material involving a minor and tampering with evidence. The charges are connected to Haley Busby, who was reported missing earlier this month. That's all we have for news. Back to you at the desk.
That's all we have for Torch TV. From me, Inaki, Zarek, Zane, Drew, and the rest of the Torch TV crew, thank you for watching.
Remember to take care of yourself, others, and the place, and as always, try to be the best part of someone's day.